Good afternoon, command teams, peers, senior leaders that are in this room, newly inducted NCOs, family members that are here to support. I have a few things that I want to share with you today. But first, a mirror will be the most important guide you have over the years. So let's talk about an experience with the mirror. There's a story about a man in an intersection. He was surrounded by a lot of people, and as he was surrounded by many people, he tried to make progress. Everyone was shoulder to shoulder. Each time he moved, he bumped into somebody and said, "You're in my way." And each time that happened, somebody disappeared. Until there was a point in time, it was only him, this one man at this intersection with no one else around him, no one else to blame, no one else to make an excuse of why he could not make progress in that moment. Just him, his thoughts, and the lack of progress. As an NCO, we own our decisions and anything that's within our purview, our ear gate, our eye gate. We have a responsibility to either lead, inspire, or develop a plan in order to make progress. I spent years as that man in the intersection. And I'm sure that as some of you are under the sound of my voice, maybe you've had an experience in life where you have spent time undecided. You spent time in that intersection blaming somebody else and not taking responsibility yourself. What I discovered over time is that mirror never lied. I was the one that was lying. When I stopped lying, that's when I started to find success within organizations. That's when my teams began to have unbelievable success in life, and to include my own personal and professional growth as well. And so at some point, when we hold that mirror up, we have to stop lying. Hi, my name is Sergeant Major ElDon White. To some of you, I'm known as L Motivational Don. I probably should have started with an introduction, but who starts with introductions these days? Sometimes it's more important to get the point across than to talk about yourself. But if I have to take a little time to say what I've done in my career to drive a point home, I will tell you that I've spent over 15 years in the Special Operations community. Between 75th Ranger Regiment and the Joint Special Operations Command. I was the first geospatial engineer in 75th Ranger Regiment. I was the first to earn my Ranger tab. I was the first enlisted active duty coach within all of Special Operations. There was a point in time for 10 years where I was #1 on every promotion list or order of merit list that came out, to include PMEs, #1 across the board, or on commandant's lists. For over 10 years, that kind of success happened after I started taking some accountability. But I didn't do it for the promotions. I didn't do it for recognition. I never did it for an award. But I did it for special reasons to me. And before we get to those reasons, I want you to take a pause just for a moment. I want you to close your eyes. It's okay, nobody's gonna pass out. We're not standing, we're all seated right now. And as you close your eyes, I want you to visualize yourself at your best. And I'm gonna ask you some questions. What are you doing in this moment? What are people saying about you in this moment? What are you saying about you in this moment? And then, I want you to capture that. I want you to pull out a pencil, a pen, and I want you to write down the words that come to mind. Yes, I want you to pull out a pen or a pencil and write it down, because as we know, a short pencil equals a long memory. So write those words down because it's tied to your character. For a long time, I worked on developing my own character through the emotional intelligence, focusing on some of the pillars such as self-awareness, self-management. How does something land on me when I don't like the way it sounds? Or when I do like the way it sounds? How do I manage myself in those moments? And then how do I manage the relationship that I'm connected to? And then social awareness as well. So why did I do it? I did it because I had a debt to pay, a responsibility for those who came before me, those who made sacrifices along the way, my ancestors, my family who went without me for birthdays, special occasions, anniversaries, you name it, the number of things that I missed. I owed somebody for the things that I was doing for this nation. I even owed my friends who are no longer here today, who died long before they were able to live out their dreams. And so my motivation for going and going and going was that I just simply longed to become better. I longed to continue to improve no matter what the situation or circumstance was. I had a deep desire for purpose. I had a deep desire that no task or achievement would quell that desire. There's a quote by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. What he says is, what is essential is invisible to the eye. Instead of teaching the task of the ship, teach them to long endlessly for the sea. This quote suggests that to truly achieve a goal, it's more important to inspire a deep desire for the end result, rather than just focusing on the mechanics of completing tasks. And so as I held that mirror up, and I urge you to do the same, to hold that mirror up. In that mirror, long to become a better version of yourself. In that mirror, long to deeply understand your why and what motivates you. In that mirror, I need you to become who God intended you to be in this earth. In that mirror, I need you to challenge the status quo. In that mirror, you were selected for a reason. You weren't selected to sit in your struggle. You weren't selected to sit in complicated mess. You weren't selected to sit in pain. You were selected because you are called to action. You have a responsibility that you wear on your chest with those hard-earned stripes, my friends. Today, I will tell you it's a better day than yesterday. And I want to leave you with one final point of leadership. Leadership, I'm going to tell you, show up as you. Be you. Because you can't let a crisis reveal you before you reveal you. Because if that happens, people will stop following you because they won't believe you. So show up as your authentic self. And as you do that, guess what happens? Naturally, you're going to begin to make decisions with conviction. You're going to make decisions that lead your organization to unparalleled success in the future. And then you have to ask yourself questions along the way. Are you disciplined? Are you consistent? Are you focused? Am I disciplined? Am I consistent? Am I focused? Do I feel like I must do the things that I'm called to do as I wear these stripes upon my chest? And here's something else. Accountability is a two-way street. You can't just look at everyone else and say, you know what? That's someone else's responsibility. Sometimes you got to look at yourself and say, what is my responsibility? Or what action can I take in order to enable the force? Because accountability is not just about somebody else, it's also about you. So where are you when it stands to accountability? Provide honest feedback, produce positive encouragement, and finally communicate clear goals. Be adaptable without moving the goalposts. And as I leave you, my friends, I am Sergeant Major ElDon White. Welcome to the Corps of Non-Commissioned Officers, also known as L Motivational John, and I'll see y'all later.